Closing beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's it going out there? Hope you're having a good day today. If you saw the stock market, you're probably having a good day, unless you were hoping for this thing to fall. We'll cover it all, because this is a quick show that we do called The Closing Beat. It's a stock market update show. We'll go over all the good, the bad, and the ugly, and maybe some interesting stats and things that we can cover, like Tesla, today. So we'll be sure to go through it. Hey, we're playing a game, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen. No strings attached. You can go take your guess at jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow. If you want to tell me where you think the Dow is going to close next week. If you're the closest without going over, we'll send you a $100 gift card, or if you're one of our customers, we'll credit your account $100. You're welcome to play. No marketing, no games, no tricks, gimmicks, or anything like that. Just a fun game, right? And any of the winners can attest to that. We don't bother you unless you win. Any of the participants can probably attest to that as well. Hey, we're going to do something new. It's called your Jazz Song of the Day. Jazz is great, man. We named the business after jazz. Why we put jazz in the name? Because to me, jazz represents, someone who's a jazz musician represents someone who is as skilled at their craft as they can be. You can't just pick up a trumpet or play the drums or play the piano and be a good jazz musician. So you have to have time in the chair, time in the seat, time on the horn, being as refining your craft necessarily. But also we included that because jazz musicians tend to have a bit of a quirky side to them as well. And so we wanted to highlight that by the name of jazz. And so I give you required listening for the evening. Each day I'll give you a jazz song I want you to listen to. This one counts, right? It's like a Latin jazz kind of thing. Stevie Wonder and Arturo Sandoval playing People. Really good version there. Also a live version I think Arturo Sandoval did. So check that out, Arturo Sandoval. If you don't know who he is, one of the best trumpet players out there in my opinion. Great story, by the way, too. Anyways, let's get started. The stock market, Dow, higher by 407 points on the day, 48 on the S&P, 194 on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ hitting all-time record highs there. Let's take a look. S&P 500 bouncing off the 50-day. We've been talking about that there being sort of the intermediate, short-term kind of support area that people look at. We have officially bounced off of that in a very aggressive way, most people would say. If you look at the Dow, we've, of course, retraced almost all of what we lost on Friday. With that big decline there. Officially a turnaround Tuesday again. That's 2 Tuesdays in a row. We've seen a turnaround of a significant drop from the Monday before. In this case, it was the Friday, but still great reversal there. And the NASDAQ continues to do all the heavy lifting in terms of moving the overall markets higher. The NASDAQ back to all-time record highs as well. The problem is you got a little bit of a Christmas tree type trading, and it's February. So a lot of times people would say Christmas tree trading, which just means red, green, red, green, red, green on your chart. And we say that around Christmas time because typically the markets tend to get a little bit sloppy, quiet, not a whole lot going on, and so one day's down, one day's up, one day's down, and it looks like a Christmas tree, a traditional tree where you put the red and green lights on there. Well, we've got Christmas tree trading here just inside of a large volatile range. I will continue to suggest that the volatility will continue. We've got caucus troubles going on over there in Iowa. We've got, obviously, elections coming up. We've got the coronavirus. We've got earnings and everything. So you would expect volatility to continue this back and forth. If you're not already used to it, you might want to get used to it because all signs point to more action as we go. Doesn't mean we have to fall. It just means that there's going to be a lot more back and forth in wider ranges than expected. And you can see that over the last couple of weeks. We'll have a lot wider range than if you compare it to any day over the last couple months. So that's the S&P and the markets in general. What happened? So overnight during the Iowa caucus mess, it was like sitting there waiting to watch your favorite band come out and play, and then all of a sudden they were delayed, or like at the ride at Disney World, the limo, was late to the show. If you've ever ride the rock and roller coaster there, but so all night it was like, wow, there's nothing else to focus on. Well, if you were in China, China decided they were going to inject money back into their markets. They were going to ease lending restrictions, ease reserve restrictions, or at least there was talk of that. And so that helped Chinese stocks get a little bit of a bump here to start. You got your A shares higher on the day, added just about 6%. Great recovery there for A shares. If you go over to large cap Chinese stocks, they were higher by 2.5% on the day. Shanghai, which had some troubles there, that was the big one that lost 9% the other day, got 4.5% recovery today. So all of that positive news helped people go, okay, China's going to do what they can to keep everything going, because we all know the coronavirus is going to eat into the economics of companies that are global, that derive some of their revenue from China or anywhere around there. Disney's a great example. Disney reported earnings after hours here, and they've got their Shanghai Disney is closed. They've had issues in Hong Kong, of course, with what's going on over there. And so we all know this is going to eat into it, but this was sort of a short-term I don't know, green light for traders to say, okay, we're gonna find a bottom here in the short term. So Chinese markets did well. If you come over to the U.S. markets overnight or into our session here, we had factory orders come in better than expected. Came in at 1.8% versus 1.2 expected. That follows up on our manufacturing number yesterday. A lot of good news coming out of there, especially in terms of exports now that we've got this trade war behind us there. We'll cover Tesla here in a little bit, but of course that's in the news as well. If you happen to follow Tesla, or happen to even just look at a chart today, we'll cover some of the good stuff and geeky stuff around that one today. Also, Disney reporting earnings, as I mentioned, after hours. They beat on earnings, beat on revenue. Disney Plus subscribers up 26.5 million. That was the focus, right? They were expecting between 20 and 25 million. Disney beat their own expectations, and they even said, we're surprised that we beat our own expectations. No real guidance going forward as for a full year number there, but still looking pretty good. ESPN Plus numbers were strong. Remember, ESPN Plus is included inside of the Disney Plus, so it's is that misleading a little bit? Good for them, though, and a smart move. And Hulu subscribers are up as well. Remember, Disney owns that, so looking pretty good. Let's go through our sector breakdown today. Strong day for semiconductors and bank stocks. Semiconductors up 3.2%. Bank stocks were up almost 1% on the day. That's a recipe for a strong market. You got to have both of those push things higher, and you did it. But as I mentioned earlier, tech stocks were doing the heavy lifting. They have been doing the heavy lifting. It is the strongest area of the market. Continues to be. They hit all new highs there as well. In industrials today, you had about a 2% gain. There were 13 companies, I read them off yesterday, 13 companies that reported earnings before they opened here today, and the bulk of those came from the industrial area there. And almost all of them did well. So if you go through a few of those, you had Cummins, although it did finish down on the day, started the day with a huge gap higher, retraced throughout the day. They didn't have the best of results, by the way. If you happen to own Cummins or it's in one of your portfolios, not the best there. They had comments about lower truck production all over the world. That wasn't the best, but the stock started higher, and apparently everybody read the earnings report throughout the day. You had Eaton higher by 5.6%, looking good there. If you go into electric companies, you got Emerson here, added 1% on the day. Waters as well. Well, Waters and I'll tell you what, Waters and Transdigm. That's how we say it here, Transdigm. There we go. Were the weak ones on the day, losing just over 1%, both of them respectively. So industrials didn't quite have the move that they had wanted to have today, but other than that, it was a broad-based rally. Look through the industrial sector as a whole. Most things were pretty good there, so no complaints. Communication services had a good day, maybe held back a little bit because of Alphabet. Remember, they reported earnings yesterday, and Alphabet was down about 2.5% today. Almost nobody noticed. Right? Everybody was looking at Tesla and looking at the stock market. Almost nobody noticed about that one. Remember, Alphabet missed on revenues there. They did have a bunch of whole new breakout categories like their cloud and YouTube and things like that. But we don't have anything to really go on, so we'll see if they continue to do that. I fully expect that they will. Charter Communications also took a little bit of a break. It was barely down on the day, but still, that one really strong. And other than that, in the communication services category, strong day. It was just a good day. Look at Netflix, officially filling the gap, by the way. We've been talking about this. I mentioned it yesterday as well. Officially filling the gap, so in the short term, that's where technical traders would say, okay, that's nice. Now what do I have to contend with? These prior highs, 384, and so far it looks like Netflix is headed towards that. Transports had a good day today, up almost 2%, bouncing off the 200-day moving average. Although it was a broad rally, the airlines really stick out here. United Airlines, amazing rally, up 5.3%. Remember, this is one we talked about the other day, being very extended to the downside, so you expect to kind of see a little bounce. But you had American Airlines up about 5% on the day. You had Delta Airlines up 3.3% on the day. All of the airline stocks, I thought, recovered in a more aggressive way. Well, the global airline stocks recovered in more of an aggressive way than some of the others, like the rails that you saw in there. Yeah, you had them positive on the day. Norfolk Southern, one of the standout names there. But all in all, I thought the airlines really kind of stole the attention in that category. Home builders, only up 0.5%. You would call that relative weakness today. Stock market blast off. Home builders a little bit weak. You know why? Well, we've been mentioning that one. Your home building stocks in particular, they were just so extended. Well, they finally started to take a little bit of a break as people said, okay, I'm going to lock in some profits here. I'm going to go put money in tech and go put money elsewhere where the markets are moving. So names like Dr. Horton, I know it's not Dr. Lower on the day. Pulte Homes lower on the day. Toll Brothers a little bit lower on the day. These are just overextended pullbacks, not anything to worry about, in my opinion, in the short term. Healthcare up about 1.7% today, despite Bernie Sanders doing pretty good there. I think the stock market is okay with Bernie Sanders winning and actually gaining some share there. Granted, we don't even know the real official results. I think the results just came out, actually. 5 o'clock, they're supposed to come out for the Iowa caucuses. Not the full 3 numbers, just the one final result there to see how many delegates each person got. Pete Buttigieg, apparently he did well also. I mean, that's kind of interesting. But healthcare stocks they participated in the rally today. And utilities were the only ones to pull back, lost about 1%. You had higher yields today. If you look over at bonds, you can see the price of bonds pulled back. Whenever the price of bonds pulls back, yields go higher. It's an inverted correlation there. And so higher yields today did hurt the utilities, but also you'd have to assume people were just looking for a reason to take profits there. An impressive, very impressive move lately. All right, Tesla, did you happen to look at it? Have you seen this stock? That is the definition of parabolic. I want to share something here with you. We shared this the other day, that Tesla was officially worth more, had a larger market cap than General Motors and Ford combined. Now this number is a little bit delayed here. It's a little bit higher than the 1.59 at the moment billion-dollar market cap that Tesla has. Just for fun, I'm going to play a little game here. You can almost pick any stock you want at this point, but let's try this. I'm going to get rid of General Motors. I'm going to get rid of Ford. And on the chart, we just have the market cap of Tesla. Oh, almost updating there, 1.61 billion. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in Costco. Did you know Tesla? I got to change this real quick to... No, I don't. Actually, that's fine. There we go. Okay, Costco. Did you know Tesla is worth more than Costco? Did you know Tesla is worth more than IBM? Let's plot IBM on there as well. I'm just going to keep adding stocks here. Let's see how much fun we can have. Did you notice that Tesla is worth more than Citigroup? Right? Just barely more than Citigroup. Did you know that Tesla is worth more than Salesforce.com? Although it had a little bump at the end of the day, Tesla pulled back just a little bit, but basically right there. Did you know that Tesla is worth more than McDonald's? Did you know that Tesla is worth more than Netflix? Right? I'm just going to keep doing this. Did you know Tesla is worth more than Nike? Do you think it's worth more than these companies? Do you know Tesla is worth more than Starbucks? Look at that in the short term there. Starbucks. Did you know Tesla is worth more than American Express? Right? Holy cow. What? Look at all those stocks that it is worth more than at the moment. What an amazing, amazing run on Tesla. Now, I've been positive about what Elon Musk has done to attract the retail investor. I cannot be positive on what happens there. You have all kinds of people out there just waiting for this thing to come kind of crashing down. And it doesn't have to crash, by the way. It's a great run. Everything's good. However, I got a lot of questions from people that said, I own Tesla. I bought it in the 200s. What should I do with it? Think about it. If you own a stock that gives you 100% plus return, even more depending on where you bought it there, I mean, that's crazy, right? That is just incredibly crazy. Did I hit go live? Oh, man, I didn't hit the button. I didn't hit the button. Let's see. You guys see me now? Oh, man. I didn't hit the button. We're going to go back. We're going to play this game here with you there. So it should show up in the replay if you're just now catching us here with what happened. But let me go over Tesla real quick, and the rest of it should show up in the replay as far as what happened. But look, I was just covering Tesla versus Ford and General Motors there. So here's Tesla's market cap versus Ford and General Motors. Hopefully you guys saw that. And if you missed I didn't hit live, but it should show up on the replay if you want to go through and see the rest there. Tesla officially worth more than General Motors and Ford. And then what I did, just while you guys were like not paying attention, I went through and I did Costco. Tesla worth more than Costco. Tesla worth more than IBM. Tesla worth more than Citigroup. Tesla worth more than Salesforce. Tesla worth more than McDonald's. Tesla worth more than Netflix. Do you agree with this, by the way? Tesla worth more than Nike. Tesla worth more than Starbucks. Worth more than American Express. Just had some fun plotting a bunch of different stocks on there that Tesla was technically worth more than. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. That's impressive. All right, I'm not going to go through everything else again, but we'll dive through some of the other stuff while I got you here. We went through the sectors today. Semiconductors, financials, really strong on the day. Industrials had a great day today. A lot of companies that reported earnings were industrial related. Communication services, nobody cared that Google was weak on the day, just recovering or recapping some of what I've been talking about. Transport's higher on the day, but all based on the airlines there. Home builders pulled back a little bit today because of weakness in some of those home builders. Yet 60% of the S&P 500 officially above the 50-day moving average. That's a 10-point jump all in one day. It's officially a 15-point jump in the last 2 days. That's impressive, right? Got stocks recovering there. 64 stocks in the S&P 500 hit new 52-week highs. That represents 8 different sectors, so a good little run there. Intercontinental Exchange, although it did reverse. Let's see. Intercontinental Exchange pulled back, there you go, pretty aggressively throughout the day. But initially it started the day hitting new highs. It was on a 52-week high list, pulled back about 7.4% on the day. They want to buy eBay. So if you look at eBay, that stock was higher on the day, added about 9%. They want to buy eBay for, I think it was a $30 billion valuation. So that was one of the stocks that made new highs. Financials and utilities made up the most amount of sectors in the list there. So there were 13 financials, 12 utilities, tech. 13 financials, 12 tech stocks in the mix there. A couple stocks that stick out there, maybe Zimmer. ZBH is a ticker symbol, a little bit of a breakout today. Well, actually a breakout today. 5.5% gain on the day. And then Microsoft hitting new highs again, getting a little extended there. Well, it's starting to look like Tesla, 12 days ago. So that's that one. You had 3 new 52-week lows on the list. ExxonMobil sold off again. Got another downgrade today, down about another 1.25% on the day. H&R Block did hit new 52-week lows, but pulled back off those lows. Maybe a little bit of buying there. I don't know. And Simon Property Group hit new lows, but retraced pretty strong on the day, up 3.5%. And then the Viacom from the other day, I know some of you guys have this, tiny recovery there. It's trying to do what it can there. But that's basically that one. If we take a look at some of the stocks after hours here, Macy's. Macy's after hours going to be down. Actually, it's only down about 0.5%. So Macy's going to close 125 stores. They think it's going to take them about $500 million to restructure this company. Ford after hours here down about 10%, 9% at the moment, trading around $835. That's all the way down here, by the way. Not good. They missed on earnings and they're guiding lower going forward. Obviously some bad news out of China as well. And Snapchat, or Snap Inc., you have to call it, was up 4% on the day. If we look at Snap after hours, it was down about 11%. That's 1689. It's going to put you here at the 50-day moving average. Snapchat lower on earnings as well. Disney, by the way, up a couple ticks, just up a little bit after hours, so looking pretty good there. Tomorrow, you've got earnings from Boston Scientific, Coty. They make C-O-T-Y. They make, makeup and stuff. General Motors, Humana, Merck, and Spotify. That'll be all in the morning. After hours, you got Cognizant, Fox, MetLife, O'Reilly Automotive, and Qualcomm. Oh, Yum China as well. They'll be reporting after hours there. I'm sorry I didn't hit the button. I wish it was automatic and it would just kind of work there. But that is it. We've covered everything there today. It should show up on the replay if it didn't show up live. I'll take your questions if you happen to have any, see what I can do there for you. Ford not looking good after hours. Yeah, not a whole lot of good to say there in terms of their earnings overall. Yeah, I would agree. Ford now down 9% even. Yep. You guys in your pot stocks there. Roar Cannabis up 7% on the day. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah, not a good time to miss earnings if you're Ford, right? With Tesla stealing all the show there, that's not a good time to miss earnings if you have to. Will real estate in expensive markets in the U.S. drop this year? China economy. I know some people are hoping for that. Right now, what they're selling us is that there's low inventory, higher prices. You better just go out there and buy the property. I don't see that in my area, and I've been asking customers about that, and they're not seeing that in their areas. I guess, that's not official data, but at this point, there's just no reason to assume lower house prices. They're just killing it. They are just killing it nationwide now. Now that's, I'm using nationwide numbers. Uber a little bit higher on the day. Remember they got an upgrade yesterday, which helped out, but another 2.5% gain on the day for Uber following the upgrade yesterday, which is good news. I know a lot of you are looking for that. Oh, that's a good one. Do you have any charts that compare like Yahoo or any tech stocks in 2000 to Tesla like today? Look, at the end of the day, I was saying this earlier. If you own Tesla at any price, we know you have a profit, right? Good job. You have a profit. If you have a sizable profit, what are you waiting for to take the profit? Do you think it's going to 2,000, 10,000? Don't fall into the Bitcoin trap, right? So I had a lot of customers asking questions today that telling me that they own the stock. And I'm like, what's the plan, right? If I gave you my money and you bought Tesla, first of all, pat on the back, I'd be happy for you. But I'd be standing there going, what's the plan? Are you going to sell some of it? Are you going to lock in some of the profit? Are you going to wait for it to drop a little bit, then sell? What are you going to do? And a lot of people don't have a plan on that one. That's what creates an emotional retail investor. Don't be an emotional retail investor. Yep. Oh, man, Bernie did win. Okay. I know it was predicted that way, but I didn't see, I know the results came out here like right when we started. So let's see. Yeah, and old Pete Buttigieg did good too. Impressive. I think even he probably didn't expect that one there. Yep. Well, was there a question? I'm sorry. Looks like Bernie won. Could this impact the markets tomorrow? At the moment, it's not. Yeah, it has no impact, at least after hours. We'll see. I think the markets seem to have priced that in. I was reading a few things today where analysts already expected him to win Iowa, at least the majority of Iowa. I think the market's okay with that. I don't think the market sees Bernie Sanders as someone who can win the nomination. So winning Iowa really doesn't seem to hurt much there. Not my opinion. I'm just looking at the market. I don't care who wins. I don't care who you vote for. All I care about is how the market will respond to a candidate. That's it. You put the other ones in there. Elizabeth Warren, that's fine. How do the markets want to respond to that? They don't like Elizabeth Warren. That doesn't mean you can't like Elizabeth Warren. You do what you got to do. You know, this is America. But for me, I like to watch the markets as it pertains to politics rather than be just another politics guy. Because that's not my field. Okay. Miner says, not selling Tesla until you get to 4,000. What happens if it pulls back $300? Just for fun. Let's just play a scenario here, since I messed everything up today. Let's just say, Miner, help me out. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Let's just say, hypothetically, it pulls back $300. You going to hold? Help me out. Which is a real possibility. And it would still be an incredibly strong stock if it pulled back $300. That's the question I would say there. If you look at a stock like this, I want you to always think of it as a rubber band. The rubber band is between the 20-day moving average and the current price. Anytime the stock gets too far from that 20-period moving average, it's a rubber band, and you're just stretching it further and further and further. You can only stretch a rubber band so far. What do you think? Oh, you're all in. Okay, die hard. All right, so if it pulls back $300, you see that as a discount. Miner's got a plan, right? That's all I ask. I don't have an opinion. If it pulls back $300 and somebody thinks that's a buy, that's what makes a market. But at the end of the day, Miner's got a plan. That's the important thing. If you own Tesla right now and you're wondering, what am I going to do? I don't know. Take a moment, turn off the screen, go think about it for a moment, because it's really, really important to have that plan. How do you sell a stock for profit taking? Well, I think you're asking, like, how do you decide when to take a profit? You decide before you enter the stock, right? Because anybody that doesn't have a profit target in mind has no idea how they're trading, right? Because if you take $1,000 and you bet it on Tesla and you end up with a sizable profit, what's your return? You want to measure those returns against all your other returns. So if you don't know what profit you're looking for initially, you don't have a plan. And unfortunately, it's going to kick you in the butt. Maybe not now, maybe not in this market, but it will kick you in the butt, I promise. So anytime you buy a stock, you always want to say, all right, I'm willing to let it wiggle X percent, but I'm hoping to make X percent. My prediction is that it will go up whatever it will, or whatever analysis you do, you believe in something happening. Perfect. Now, when that happens, you take the profit. You don't stare at it and go, let's shoot for a little bit more. Follow the plan. Follow the plan. I did a great class for that with customers. How do you develop a trading plan? An investing plan, whatever it is. How do you develop it? What should be in it? We went through all of that because that's super, super important. Markets turned bearish on Friday. You mentioned if we go back to the highs. I still the same way, right? If we go back to highs, you can't find any other point in time where that happened. If we were to break highs on like the S&P retracing there, I still kind of think you found a top in the short term. Doesn't mean it can't be sloppy and messy, and some days seem like the world is okay and some days seem like the world's going to end. But that was an aggressive amount of selling, and it was the way it happened, by the way. It wasn't panic. Remember, Friday was very clean and consistent selling. What that shows you is that's round one of someone or some group of people who have decided the market is overvalued and they're peeling off their positions. If you see a down day like that any day, doesn't have to be a large down day, that's how you know that that's what's happening. Those people are not wrong. They like to peel off positions. So if we go back up there and they get another shot to peel off even more positions, you're going to feel that pressure. But that's the beauty of the markets. We get to see every day kind of what happens. Nice. Betting got some short there on Tesla. Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess I can say it because I'm not going to say specifically. I tried to take a shot on shorting Tesla today. Did not get filled, so I do not have it. I'll be honest with you. I'm still watching. Can't like be super descriptive, but we'll see. I mean, it's in the meantime, incredible run there, and I think it's trading higher after hours still. A little bit, about $900. Give or take. Cool. I love it. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Sorry, I hit the button. I wish it was automatic. I messed it up. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. And then Thursday is our class for customers. We're going to do our portfolio review, how everything's going, the updates, and maybe a few geeky things in there just because I like to. And we'll be back for that. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with this today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Enjoy.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new FinTips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.